Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the show at Rise Up Show with me, your host, the Queen Bee, Dani. How are you feeling? As we chat this morning to the devilishly handsome, the fabulously wonderful, the incredibly knowledgeable Mr. Fidel Hill, the modern man. Good morning. Jodie Salt, good morning. Fab Naredi, good morning. Elise Woodbine, good morning. The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon, good morning, sir.
Shut up, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
The fantastic Lizzie Jackson Barrett, good morning. Josephine Sandra, everybody, good morning. It would help, wouldn't it, if I put myself into the broadcast instead of just waiting for the for the credits to stop, and I was just staring at a second to a black screen. Hello, everyone. Look at me, I've got my bunny ears on for you today. I'm a veritable Easter bunny. How are you all doing? Happy Easter Monday to you. Hi, Rachel. How are you doing? Kaylee Judge is in the house. I got your message, sweetheart. I need to drop you a response, don't I? I'm dead naughty. I've not responded to anything over the Easter weekend, which isn't naughty. It's been an act of self-care. I've stepped away from work and I've done absolutely bugger all except be with my family this weekend, and it's been glorious and absolutely timely as well. So you can imagine getting into that new house. I don't know if I've mentioned it to anybody, but recently moved. And I've just, you know what, it's been absolutely glorious and blissful, just enjoying Easter with my family. I've left the kids snacking on the leftover buffet for breakfast. They're eating popcorn and all sorts of crap this morning for breakfast. I'm being a dead good mum. And I've come over here to talk to you lot, check in. I'm still doing my face, aren't I? I'm not apologising. I feel like I need to. I've got to do my face for the rest of the day, you see. So I thought, well, do you know what? We'll get some brows going on. We'll get some mascara going on. It is good to take a break. You're taking a snow day today. Who's got snow? My sister lives but 7 minutes away from me this morning. I've not spoken to her. She's gone to work. She's a key worker. She does a phenomenal job. But I seen she's posted on Facebook that it's snowing. It is categorically not snowing outside. Can I just say it is sunshiny, glorious outside. It is beautiful. Do you know what's amazing as well? How many of you are watching this morning? Are you all having a lazy morning? Oh, Dani's live. We'll see what Dani's doing. She's putting her makeup on. She's wearing bunny ears. Let's see what's happening. We've also got a glorious guest this morning. We're going to be talking a little bit of business, and why not? As we get together, we've got a phenomenal lineup this week, actually. We're going to kick things off today with the glorious Katrina Fouracre. She's going to be joining us in just a minute. I need to make myself look presentable for my guest this morning, so just bear with me a second. I've got some mascara to make happen and all sorts. My son Jack says hello and he loves the bunny. Oh, thanks very much. Thank you. I thought I'd show up. Good morning, Jessie. Yes, it is the Easter Bunny coming at you this wonderful uh, Easter Monday. Good morning. Who's this? Give StreamYard permission. Let's see who you are. Lazy morning here. Just got out of the shower. Fantastic. Oh, get yourselves relaxed. Put your feet up. If you're making a bacon butty, make yourself a bacon butty. Who does? I would still want to know about your Easter traditions, you lot. You all found it very strange. I was explaining to you on Thursday and Friday that normally today on Easter Monday, Avon Park opens its gates as it does every day, but people take their Easter eggs. And it comes right back from the Victorian times. In the Victorian times, they would put their Easter bonnets on, they would promenade along the river and around the park. It's beautiful, beautiful park it is, Avon Park in Preston. And the children would roll their eggs down the hill. And obviously, because it rains quite a lot, instead of rolling our eggs down the hill on the days that we could not, we rolled our eggs down the stairs. And I thought that was everybody rolled their eggs down the stairs. It didn't feel like Easter unless one of the eggs had been whizzed down the stairs, but apparently not. So in between you lot making hot cross buns cross and then hot by shouting at them, and me whizzing my eggs down my stairs, what else have you been getting up to? What are your Easter traditions? Some of you have a little Easter dance that you do. I had to have the conversation. Cover your kids' ears if you're around, your little ones. I had to have the conversation with Ivy over the weekend about the Easter Bunny. And because it was never in our day when I was growing up, we grew up in the 80s and early 90s, that the Easter Bunny really didn't visit us like in the same way that, say, Father Christmas does or the Tooth Fairy does. Do, other than eating chocolate, no tradition other than it. Christine, it's not a bad tradition to have, babes. But I'm interested to know what, like, I'm seeking guidance. What have you told your kids about the Easter Bunny? Does it visit you like Father Christmas and leave the eggs? Because that didn't happen. I just wore these all day. I was the Easter Bunny yesterday. I was quite happy. So I kind of had to explain it to Ivy that, the Easter Bunny, we are the Easter Bunnies. We're happy little bunnies at Easter. We're a happy family. At Easter, instead of her thinking that it's somebody else visiting her house. She lost a tooth yesterday, and all Tooth Fairy come, Easter Bunny's come. Busy house, my house. These magical beings don't really respect the fact that we're in lockdown. What are you lot showing of it? Your family is weird. Eggs down the stairs, corned beef pancakes. The corned beef pancakes are not mine, by the way. The corned beef pancakes was my sister, and she was trying it out apparently for the benefit of us. But you have pannaculty. Do you not? We've had this conversation about the controversial corned beef. It wasn't me. In the immortal words of Shaggy. But it was me that threw me eggs down the stairs. Good morning, Anne-Marie. You're loving my ears. Thank you. I'm loving my ears to the fairy as well. I would like to bend one at a jaunty angle, only they've not got wire in them. They've got plastic in them, so they don't bend. I would like one of my ears to be like this at a jaunty angle, but it's not to be. I need the corned beef pancake recipe. Please, no. You don't, Amy Blaney. You do not. You don't need this. Go on, you're drunk. Christina, what are they? They're not. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourselves. I tried it. Yes, we have panel kitty and fury for frames. What's that? Pannaculty. I don't know. Anyway, we'll get lost. That was February's conversation. We're in April now. Bloody April. We are now into Q2 of the year already. I want to know, what are your plans for Q2? In the comments, let me know. What have you got going on? As well, we have a big month this month here at IATQB HQ. It is Be Inspired Month. On the 22nd and the 23rd of this month, we have got fairy door frames. So do you want me to tell the story, Joe Wilson? Joe Wilson was glossing her door frames yesterday, and her dog decided to add some decoration by walking past it and leaving his dog hairs along the door frame. I thought it was beautiful. Gonna have to take you to the shower again, or I won't move off the sofa. Lacey Jane, go and get a shower. Go on, sort yourself out, woman. So yes, it is April. It is Be Inspired Month. I cannot wait. I am honestly, you guys, I'm so excited. Let me know in the comments if you've got your ticket. Let me know in the comments if you're planning to get your ticket. Let me know if you need the link. Let me hook you up. That's why it's called Knobhead Ted. That I know. If you need a ticket to Be Inspired and you haven't got one yet, please put ticket in the comments and I will hook you up with a link so you can grab hold of your ticket. It is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I've also secured an incredible additional speaker for Monday, which I'm very, very excited to share with you a little bit later on this week. So we've got not only have we got a phenomenal speakers that are coming along that have been working with me for the past, some of them 12 months, going to be coming onto the stage and sharing this incredible personal development and business development event with you all. We've also got some brilliant guest speakers as well joining the fray, entering the fray. I've been speaking to Joe Swan from Chocolate PR, who's going to be hosting a special panel event as part of it. So yeah, it is very, very, very exciting. I've got my ticket and my shopping list for snacks. Absolutely. We're going to be opening up the Facebook group for ticket holders in just a couple of weeks' time, when you can share in the group what you're going to be nibbling on whilst you are sharing your time with us for Be Inspired. But enough. If you want a ticket, just pop in the comments ticket and I will hook you up with a link so you can grab your ticket today. Make sure that you do. If we hit 1,000 tickets, then we will be donating £10,000 to the Fly Anyway Foundation. Yes, Christine, it is virtual. I'm taking all my speakers to a TV studio, and we will be coming to you live from a TV studio. So it's not just like another Zoom event where you kind of get talked at. These are proper professional speakers. These are trained speakers. These are edutainers. There is going to be 22 of them in total, all in bite-size, incredible bombs of information and education, celebration, motivation, inspiration just for you. And you also have lifetime access, plus a whole bunch of bonuses from our speakers as well. So you will have a members area that will open up the day before with a speaker profile for all of our speakers. And in those speaker profiles will be Brucey bonuses. So additional workshops, mini courses, workbooks, all sorts of fantastic additional learning. So that's £89 plus. If you get your ticket, you can become an affiliate and get the price of your ticket back if you sell 4 more tickets. I've made it as accessible as humanly possible. It is going to be insane. So if you pop ticket, Sarah, I see you. We will grab you a link just after the show. But without further ado, I'm going to welcome on our guest. So I opened up spaces to come on to the show at Rise Up Show just a few short weeks ago. And this lady got into my inbox and she was like, hey, these are the things that I do. Would it be helpful for your audience? And I was like, hell yes. Because if you're anything like me, tech is often the bane of our lives. This woman knows all about the tech stuff. She's coming to join us this morning to speak websites. We've got Katrina Fouracre. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Easter Monday to you. Welcome to the show, Rise Up Show.
Happy Easter.
You said you were feeling a little bit nervous before you came on the show.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just I've done a few like lives and things like that before, but I don't know. I think maybe it's just Easter chocolate and I've just relaxed a bit too much over the weekend.
And then you just realise you've got to switch your thinking head on. You think, oh God, is this even the right time? How are we all? Has any of you lot got a hangover out there? Did anyone have, anything additional with your chocolate eggs? Did anyone have some cheeky wine this morning? Not this morning. Oh God, last night, I mean. Well, you could have this morning. I've already given you permission, Katrina, this morning for a Bloody Mary, haven't I?
Yeah, definitely.
So, Katrina, thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit more about what it is that you do.
So I specialize in WordPress websites. So I design websites for business owners, and I just try to simplify things, really, because I know that people get really stuck with the tech side of things when it comes to websites, and it kind of puts people off having a website or trying to design their own websites. So I try to just like simplify things and try to make people look at it from a different point of view. My background is marketing, so before I went self-employed 7 years ago, I worked actually for an IT distributor. So I worked with tech brands and I worked with campaigns that went into things like Argos and John Lewis and things like that for tech brands. And I really enjoyed it. And I got to travel, even with my second job, I got to travel sort of like around Europe and doing events and organizing events and campaigns. But when you kind of work on like such big platforms, the growth is completely different to when you work with individual businesses, small businesses, independent businesses, and it's just a completely different feeling. So when I was in my second job, I decided to go freelance and start doing a bit of work on the side and just helping local businesses. And I just felt like I could just be so much more creative and I could just help a lot more because I was bringing what I already knew to small businesses that maybe they wouldn't have been able to get access to with some of the bigger agencies or anything like that.
I think the interesting thing is when you go from working for big corporates. So myself, I've worked for some huge global brands, which was phenomenal in and of itself, and I learned loads. And they were very invested in their staff, and they grow their staff from the inside out. But the work that you don't see having a direct impact. And when you work locally for businesses, you start to see, you're helping people pay for their school fees, or you're helping people pay for the shopping, or you're helping people pay for, by them improving their businesses. You're actually helping people change their lives, as opposed to helping the conglomerate get bigger, I guess. It's a shift in where you add value, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, like when you work for like the big brands and things like that, yes, you get to see like the advertisements and on radio, on TV and magazines and everything like that. And that's great. And there's a buzz with that. But then when I'm working with smaller businesses and I see that they're getting more sales online and they're adding new product lines, and they're growing their business, and you just think, actually, this is so much more worthwhile than just, like I said, adding to the pockets of like the big corporates. So that's kind of like that's where I sort of felt more comfortable and more happy working with. So after a year, I gave up everything and decided to go self-employed. Probably wasn't the smartest move, I suppose, financially, because my husband, well, my now husband, but he was also went self-employed, sort of like the year before. Well, he went a year before, so he was sort of like a year into it. But obviously he was still growing his business, and to be honest, I wasn't happy in my job. My mental health was really taking a toll. I was starting to get panic attacks and things like that. So I was just like, I just can't do this anymore. So we just decided that, okay, like self-employment. We made a lot of sacrifices. We gave up our flat. We moved in with parents for over a year just so that we could like grow the businesses. But it paid off, and it's just been growing and growing. And so I just been helping businesses with their websites and looking at it from a marketing point of view, rather than thinking, oh, I can't do it because I don't know tech. I didn't know tech. I knew marketing, and
right.
So that's kind of like how I sort of approach it.
What drew you then to tech and WordPress particularly? What was it about that particular platform? Because lots of us, out there, I mean, we're on Wix, but there are lots of us that work on WordPress. There are lots of us that, create our websites using these platforms. What drew you to that as your sort of the bit that you hang your hat on?
Flexibility. The thing is with WordPress is that the big thing for me is that you get to own your own website with WordPress. So Wix and Squarespace, they're all great platforms because they give you, the ability to be able to create your own website without having to know sort of like a lot of background knowledge about tech or website design or anything like that, because a lot of it is done for you. But basically Wix or Squarespace or the overarching company own your website, and that's never really kind of sat right with me, because I feel that when you are putting so much time and effort and potentially money into something, I always feel that you should be able to own and have control over it. So I suppose in some ways it's a bit like owning and renting a house. Like you probably start off renting, but the goal is to own your own house for a lot of people. And it's the same with WordPress. I suppose you kind of rent a website using Wix or Squarespace or anything like that. But then with WordPress, you actually own it because you're in control of so much more. And there's the flexibility as well. So even if you start off with just a couple of pages, and then in a year, 2 years, or even a few months, you need to grow your business even more, and you need to add so many more features like shops and things like that, you don't actually end up paying any more. It's time to add it in because shop features are free to add on to WordPress. And that's kind of what I liked. It was just the flexibility that I was able to offer to my clients, and that they would be able to grow into their website rather than designing a website that then may not fit them in a few years' time. And then they would have to basically start all over again, which isn't ideal.
Mm-hmm. what are the biggest mistakes that people make within their websites? Because here's the thing, lots of people start a business and they're like, right, okay, so I need a business card and I need a website. And I remember actually a business mentor of mine saying, well, it's all right having, and lots of people will not allow themselves to really start pushing through and selling things until they've got the website ready and all of this sort of stuff. But it's all well and good having a website, but people aren't really actively looking for a website. You've got to make your website known. It's up to you to drive traffic to your website. And I think this is a common misconception with businesses that are starting, yay, I've got a website, and then wondering why they're not getting traffic to their website. Well, no one's going, okay, well, do you know what? I need a public speaking coach. So I'm going to search iamthequeenbee.co.uk. Well, why would they go and share that? People come into my world and then I will direct them there. And probably, I say probably, actually, no. Like our website isn't really working for us at all. What are the most common mistakes that people make when it comes to making their websites?
So one of the biggest mistakes people make is that they make their website about themselves when actually it needs to be about their audience. It's very similar to social media. So you put out content, the most successful content that you put out there is the ones that are helping your audience and helping your customers achieve whatever goal it is that you're helping them achieve. And it's exactly the same with the website. There's a misconception that websites is a platform to show off who you are, and in some ways it is, but it needs to be done in a way that I can help you achieve this goal, and this is why. That's basically it. So the main goal needs to be, I can achieve, this is the goal that you want to achieve, and I can help you. This is why, and this is how I can help you. That's essentially how a website needs to be. But the problem is that some people go, this is why I do something and this is how I do something, but don't actually tell people how that's actually going to benefit them. So I mean, I could go on to my website and say, I've worked with big brands, I've worked with Microsoft, I've had campaigns in Argos, I've had campaigns in John Lewis.
Good.
That means nothing to anyone. It's like, yeah, good for me, well done, but that means nothing to anyone. It doesn't mean anything. So if you can tell people how you can help them and what goals, you understand your target audience and you talk to them on your website. That's one of the biggest mistakes. And also as well is this idea that websites, once you've had it and once you've got it designed, that's it, that's the end of the road and you've done it, big tick, and now all the sales are going to start flooding in. And it's not, it's the very, very beginning of it. You need to get people, like you said, you need to drive traffic there. You need to tell people about it. You need to give people a reason to visit, because again, just saying, oh, I have a website, I could say, just tell people you've got a website. Or, okay, I could go onto social media, so I've got a website. Okay, great. But you need to give them a reason why, because I would say that you're stopping the scroll when you're on social media. You're telling people that you've got a website and you need to give them a reason. You need to stop them from watching cat memes and, reels and all this kind of stuff. You need to tell them why they need to stop doing this and actually go and look at your website. There's got to be a benefit and an end goal to them, because people won't do something unless it's going to benefit them. So really making sure that you're telling people about your website and why they need to go there, and making sure that once they're there, that it does actually benefit them, and that you're talking to them, and that they can see that actually your products or services are actually going to help improve their life or their business or whatever it is that you're helping them with. So yes, you just really need to be mindful of who it is that you're talking to and not make it about you. It really, really needs to be about your customers. And then obviously there's some design aspects as well that people make the mistake of. They use colors, that they think bright colors, and overcomplicating websites is another big thing as well. And actually you don't need all singing or dancing. You don't need lots of flying things across the websites and lots of animations and lots of clever design things. Often the simplest of websites is the most successful websites, because people don't actually really read and really delve into websites. They skim it, and so if there's lots of things going on, they can't concentrate. So you just strip it back, simplify it, and get the content there, make it clear, make it simple, and just make it really easy for people to use and understand, and the website will start working for you.
Brilliant. So how would we tell people about? So it's easy enough, right? So I'm going to sit here and say, hey, I've got a website, iamthequeenbee.co.uk. That's one way of doing it, by really shouting and banging the drum about it. How else can we share our websites? How else can we communicate that we have a website that people need to go and visit?
So SEO is the biggest one. So making sure that your website is, working for the search engine. So making sure that you got keywords. So think about the type of things that your customers will search for on Google, because generally when people are looking for something specific, they're not going to be searching on social media. They're going to go to Google. So you need to make sure that your website is coming up for those keywords and is optimized for those keywords. So making sure that you're talking about the subjects that you want people to find you for, that you're providing content around that. So blogs is a really, really good thing that you can use. So for me, I would talk about website design and marketing and things like that. So it's talking about those subjects that your customers were going to be looking for. That's one element of making sure that SEO is there, and keywords is one element of SEO. Making sure that your website is accessible as well. That's a really, really big thing, and that's one of the things that Google's going to be looking for in their new update that's coming out next month. So making sure that your website's accessible, so making sure that it's mobile friendly, that people can read it, people who are using screen readers, so making sure that you've got alt tags on your pictures. All those different things will contribute to your SEO. So just making sure that your website is accessible for all different types of people who use the internet.
So when you say alt tags, what do you mean?
So when you
something that I really want to have more conversations about, be it, if we're adding subtitles to our stories and things like that, like raising the awareness. What are alt tags?
So alt tags, when you upload an image to a website, whatever platform you're on, there will be a space or a box that will say alt tag. And that is where you describe the image. So basically, when somebody uses a screen reader to read a website, so they may be visually impaired or blind, whatever the reason why they're using a screen reader, screen readers can only read text. They can't read images. So an image just appears as a blank space if there's no alt tag. So by adding an alt tag, you describe what the image is. So it could be, if you have a picture of a laptop with a cup of coffee next to it, then you would describe what the picture is. A black laptop with a cup of coffee next to it on a wooden table. That would be an alt tag. But to go in from a more marketing point of view, would try to include some keywords in there as well, because that also helps with SEO as well. So there's lots of ways that you could try to implement these keywords.
It's a minefield, Katrina. It's a minefield. There's a lot to think about. I've already got a busy brain. I'm glad there are people like you out there.
It's just what it is that you're trying to use all the opportunities that Google gives you to tell Google about your website and what it does. And alt tags is just one of those opportunities where you can say to them, this is a picture, this is what the picture is about. And this is why actually using pictures that are relevant to your website is really important, because because when you start describing a picture, generally, if it makes sense to your website, your keywords will naturally fall into it, because it's about what you're talking about. So you don't necessarily have to think too much about it, as long as you've got the right image. If you've got a picture of a dog on your website and your website is about skincare, why? That doesn't make any sense. And that's where you fall into the trap of finding it difficult. But if you had a picture of your product and one of your keywords is your product, it just naturally falls into it. So so making sure that you have alt tags is one way to make sure that it's accessible for people to read your website.
So what kind of work do you do then? So I know you help people with web, but do you help people build their websites? Do you help people with their marketing? So we've got Carrier Creative on the screen there. What do you do, in terms of your day-to-day? What do you help people with?
So I design websites for businesses, so at the moment I design websites for businesses and I offer one-to-one consultation. So this can be in a block of 4. So if you're planning on designing your website yourself, or you've got a website and you want to improve it, then we can have a block of 4 where we will go through everything. So making sure that your target audience is right, that you're you're talking to your target audience correctly, your website is structured correctly, everything is in place to make sure that you've got everything in place that you need to make your website successful. Or if you just have you just want a one-off, you just have some questions, then we can go through something in particular that you're struggling with. It could be like the design aspect of it. You're not really sure how to get it to look right. You're not sure you're marketing it right, that kind of thing. So where my background is marketing, I kind of bring everything in and look at everything around your website, because it's no point just looking solely at your website, because you could have the best website in the world, but if you're not doing any marketing around it, then it's pointless. And it's the same again if you're doing all this marketing and nothing in the exactly. And if you're doing all this marketing on social media and email marketing and all this kind of stuff, and you've got nothing really to drive people to, and like the hub, which is the website, then again, you're going to struggle to start growing your business. So I look at everything. I don't just look at your website. I look at everything around it to make sure that everything is working together, because otherwise it just seems a bit pointless to do that then.
I think the nice way of putting it's like the hub to drive everybody to, because I think for some of us, for me particularly, the hub that I drive everybody to is here. Every morning, actually, it would work better for businesses to be driving. If you've got a website that's working for you and you're driving your traffic there, actually you've got spaces to do things like call to action. You've got spaces to do things like ask for a sale. That isn't necessarily you having to get into people's inboxes all the time, which is not a very scalable way of generating business. Joe Wilson, I've not even got an email list. How the hell am I even working? Joe, I don't know, babes. You're one of those unicorns. This is what she's saying. So maybe I should talk about dog training instead of wild woofers and wonder why I get a lot of weird requests. Again, Joe, yes.
Yeah, probably.
It's all that. So, Katrina, what have you seen in the last 12 months? Have been crackers, haven't they? And we're just peeping on the other side of, lockdown and what have you. But have you found that you've got busier during the last 12 months? Of people have more been focused on their online presence, or is that what you found?
Yeah, at the beginning, it was the complete opposite. I think people just thought, everybody was under the impression she's only going to be a few weeks, and it was just going to be, oh, it's fine. Like, I actually had a lot of people stop their online presence, like any management and things like that. And they were saying, I can't afford it. I need to just take a break. And I was like, okay, I understand. I sort of tried to explain that, you've got to try to keep your online presence up. Exactly. I was like, but I understand. And I sort of gave some advice and said, look, it's fine if you can't afford someone else to do it, but just try to keep on top of it. Some people did, some people didn't. They just kind of stopped altogether. And then when things started going on and on and on, and I think we realized that this wasn't going to be something that was going to be over in a couple of weeks, then people started to really wake up and go, right, okay, I really need to sort my stuff out online, because this isn't going to go away and I need to make some money. I think some people kind of just went full steam ahead and was like, right, I need to sort out my website. I need to get sorted on social media. I really need to up my marketing. And some people have done that really, really well. And some people were really cautious, understandably, because they didn't know where things were going to go. So I think for me personally, I had a real mixed bag. I had a lot of people that were coming to me saying, right, I had, especially over the summer, it just went absolutely crazy. I was just like, I actually can't keep up with the amount of people that are requesting websites right now. And it was absolutely crazy. And, and I think that's when I kind of started implementing the one-to-one sessions more, and sort of saying, look, because not everybody needed me to go in and redesign the website. They thought they did, and they say, I need to redesign my website. So you don't, you just need to make some tweaks. And I was doing this because I don't as much as obviously, you know, from a business point of view, yes, redesigning a whole website is financially better for me, but that's not the whole point of my business. It's to actually help people grow. So I didn't want to be
as well that you can provide to help people.
exactly.
So like you say, it might not be a whole like a web design or a web redesign. There might be some things that you can teach people to do themselves and actually become more self-sufficient as a business, which is really important, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is kind of like where I'm heading to now. It's kind of, I'm noticing, you know, people, I actually think people need to know, because I think a lot of people kind of shied away, like I said, they shied away from doing things because they didn't understand it, or they didn't want to learn how to do it because they thought it was beyond them. But actually, you know, I get a lot of, oh, I can't do a website because I don't understand tech, but yet they're messaging me on social media or they're emailing me. And it's a weird, for me, it's quite weird, because to me, a website is, if you think of it in a business, it sits in a marketing department, not in the IT department. Right. So, you know, my job, yes, okay, I sit on a laptop, but so does an accountant. So does
a social media influencer. If I look at what I do, I sit all day on tech, you know.
Exactly, but you wouldn't say.
I'm not a woman in tech.
Exactly. So it's kind of just looking at it from a different perspective and saying, you know what, this isn't about tech, this is about marketing, and it's about learning. You know, if you're learning Facebook or you're learning Instagram or whatever, you're basically learning a piece of software, and that's what your website is. It's you know, especially on WordPress or even Wix or anything like that, you are learning a piece of software, and you're learning where to click and where to put things. And yes, there's a bit of know-how in terms of how to make things look, but that's where people like me can come in and help you and guide you and say, like, don't use this font, don't use this color, and that kind of thing. And these types of things will all help you build that confidence. And so that's kind of where I'm going, is trying to make people have a bit more control over their online presence, and so they're not relying so much on other people to kind of get things done. You know, I see it a lot where people are requesting things to be changed on their website. Sometimes it can be something small, but if a website designer is so busy with other things, it's not on purpose that they're having to wait a couple of weeks to have a paragraph change. It's just that there's so much to do. And if you already have that knowledge and that control over your website, you can go in and change that paragraph. Yeah, and it's done, and you can get on with it.
Autonomy, isn't it? It's bringing back that autonomy. And I think, like you say, a lot of us do, we kind of relinquish it, and then get frustrated that our web developers are, you know, they're tangled up and tired and spinning all the plates, because they're not just helping someone with one website, they're helping all of their clients with all of their websites. And if we could pass back and gain back some of that autonomy, that empowers you to then, okay, so I can make that tweak. And if you have an idea, then you can go in and do it, and you're not waiting, like you say, a couple of weeks for someone to do it for you. I think there's a great balance to be garnered from, you know, obviously, yes, having people coming in and doing it, but also especially if you're a small business, being able to be nimble enough to get in there and do those things. That really helps you when you know, like when we get thrown curveballs, we can get, you know, an additional sales page with an extra offer done bish bash bosh, instead of having to plan that weeks and weeks in advance. So Katrina, tell us what's coming up for you as we're peeping out of lockdown like this. Like the little excited bunny that I am. I'm very excited.
I know. So for me, I'm trying to put a message out there that even though we're coming out of lockdown, don't forget to don't abandon your online presence. Please do not abandon your online presence, because I think this year has taught us that it's really important, and that actually, even when people are out and about, they're still drawn to being online. So it's really important to make sure that you are still maintaining that online presence, and it's proven that you can build a successful business online. So really making sure that you are keeping on top of that. And for me, I am going to be launching a brand new course in the end of May, where the cart opens at the end of May. And I'm going to be teaching people how to design their own WordPress websites. So you will have complete control. So I'm going to be taking you from the beginning right to the end of how to design it. So by the end of the course, you'll have, obviously, if you do follow it along, then you will have a website at the end of it. And I'm going to be teaching you basically what I know in terms of, you know, the tech side of it, and making you understand it, and actually trying to simplify it for you so you don't feel so overwhelmed by it, and also some of the design aspects to get you creating a website that looks professional, because you know some of the best practices for design, and just making sure that your website is as good as it can be, and then you can have the control over your website so that you can keep growing it and changing it without having to worry about, oh, I've got to ask somebody to do this for me.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing. So how do we hang out with you, my angel? How do we learn more from you and more about Katrina Fouracre?
So I have a free Facebook group where I share tips and advice on website design, so whether or not you're starting out or you're just wanting to improve your website and get more traffic. So there's a free Facebook group. It's called Grow Your Business Online, Web Design and Marketing by Katrina. And I'm also on Instagram as well. My handle is Carriad Creative over there, where I share some more tips and a bit more behind the scenes, usually of me drinking coffee, because it's the thing that gets me through the day. With a 3-year-old.
It's all right when you've got a 3-year-old girl.
I know. Oh, yeah, so that's where I usually am.
Perfect. Right, you lot. So you've been told where you need to go. Katrina, will you do us a favour, and on the links in the thread of the comments, you pop your links in there. So Jo Wilson's just saying she needs to get in that group. You're quite right, Jo. Yes, you do, madam. Get yourself into Katrina's group and go and learn all about the fantastic stuff that Katrina's got going on. Katrina, thank you so much for joining us this morning on the show at Rise Up Show. It's been a pleasure getting to know you.
Thank you for having me on.
So, my loves, so make sure you check out the links. We've asked Katrina to put the links to her free Facebook group and to her socials onto the comment thread here, my angels. What I will do for those of you that have said tickets or have expressed an interest in Be Inspired and getting a ticket to Be Inspired, I'm going to be sliding into your DMs, my little chickadees, with the link so you can grab your ticket today. If you have not got your ticket to Be Inspired already, sort it, sausage. Come on now. You need to get your ticket sorted. Let me know. Either slide into my DM and say, hey, Dani, I need a ticket link. Sort me out. Or go to the Queen Bee Dani page on Facebook. No, Instagram. And then in the link tree, in the bio, so there's a bio and there's a link. Click that link and it's the top link. You can just go click and go and get your ticket there right now. All right, my loves, I will see you. You should keep those ears on. I have been wearing them all weekend. I'm not going to be taking these off for the foreseeable. Well, no, I'll be taking them off tonight. The date is the 22nd and 23rd of April, and you will get lifetime access. That's a Thursday, Friday, and you will get lifetime access. So even if you can't attend for the whole of the 2 days, you'll be able to have access for the rest of your life to those full 2 days of fantastic content, plus all of the bonuses as well. So even for the £89 in and of itself, you're still getting bags and bags, even if you can't like attend on the day. I highly recommend you attend on the day though, because it is going to be fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on the show at Rise Up Show. Please make sure you are joining us. We've got Jay Ranner on the show tomorrow. We're going to be talking about diversity, and then later on in the week we have got Olympian Marilyn Okoro is going to be joining us on Wednesday as well. So make sure you're joining in all week this week, Monday to Friday, 9:30 every single morning. Make sure you join us for the show at Rise Up Show. If not, you can always catch us on the replay. Oh, Christine, you're going to be working. Like I said, you can still get a ticket and still get access to all of that wonderful event. You don't have to be there on the day. It's okay. So time and money should not be an issue when it comes to Be Inspired. I've made it so that if you've got the £89, you can make the £89 back by signing up to the affiliate scheme and selling on 4 tickets, and that gets you your money back. And if you haven't got time, that's all right. We're recording the whole thing for you to have lifetime access to. It's just £89 for 2 incredible days plus all of those bonuses. Right, my loves, have an incredible day. I will see you tomorrow bright and breezy back in the office here until we've got internet over at the new house. I can't wait to move you all over there. I feel like at the minute I have to come back to my old life to come to work. I need to gather you all up with me and come and play with you all in my new house. I've still got to show you all around, haven't I? Have a wonderful Easter Monday. Relax. Hopefully you can see some of your family today. Sending you lots of love from my family to yours this Easter Monday. I'll see you tomorrow bright and breezy at 9:30 for the show Rise Up Show. Take care.